Chief of Defence Staff General Christopher Gwabin Musa don reassure Edo pipo say Niger Army, with the help of other security agencies, go make sure say the governorship election wey go shele for September 21, 2024 go dey free, fair, credible and peaceful. The Chief of Defence Staff give this assurance when him and other top military officers wey dem deploy for election duty for the state meet with Governor Godwin Obaseki on Wednesday 18 September 2024 for Government House, Benin City. General Musa contacted the Niger Armed Force Day for the state to support and make sure say the election go peaceful, and come also beg the political actors for Edo say make them not create tension for the state sake of the election. A constituent talk say as in they watch wetin dey shele for Edo for TV and the tension wey dey inside the state, that na why in come as in they always like to come few days before election to preach peace, and say as Nigerians we suppose sabi how to do things correct, no need to create wahala sake of election as e no dey necessary. General Musa Konya say the order wey Oga Presido of Nigeria give them na say Edo governorship election must dey peaceful, free, fair and credible. E come assure say members of the armed force no go take sides as them dey here to support Edo people for the election and make sure say it go peaceful.
Usually I always want to come a few days ahead to any election to be able to preach peace. As Nigerians, we must learn to do things properly. There is no need for raising tension because of elections. It's not necessary. We have seen how other countries conduct elections peacefully. In fact, people are working and doing their normal thing. I just wonder why ours seem to be different. But I just want to assure you that members of the armed forces are here to support you in this election, to make sure that the election is peaceful. Our drive, our mandate from Mr. President is to ensure that it is peaceful, free, fair, and credible. And that is what exactly we're going to do. So everybody you see here is here to ensure that is done, and that's the mandate. And that is why I'm here to also look at it, see the troops and address them critically for them to understand the importance of free, fair, and credible elections. Nobody is to take sides. Whoever it is that is popular and the people want, we want the people to be the ones to select who they want, not who is being imposed on them. So that I can guarantee you. We have done it for other states in the past 3 elections. I'm sure you noticed that it went well. We want to do the same thing here. The days of impunity are over. The election shouldn't be war. People shouldn't die because they want to go and select who they want to vote. So in clear terms, that's why I came, and that's why I'm happy to come here. Sorry, I've been promising you that I was going to visit, and somehow I couldn't, but today I ensure that I will be here live in person. And to congratulate you for all the efforts, for all the things you have put in. I had the privilege of serving in Edo State. I was in bodi. We were actually the ones that returned back the unit in 2002 when we came back from Sierra Leone. I served for about 2 years before I left. 2DIV, I was the chief of staff in 2DIV for some time too. So Edo State has always been part of me. So I want to congratulate you for all you have done, and to thank you for the warm reception. But with that full assurance that none of us is going to take sides, we will ensure that there's peace in Edo State.
Governor Obaseki wey dey happy to receive the Chief of Defence Staff for in response come talk say the visit dey very reassuring to the people of the state, and say belle sweet and wella to see them for Edo sake of say some political actors no understand the national security wey follow this Edo election, say the way some people dey behave no make sense at all, especially people wey swear oath. Obaseki come talk say politicians fit behave anyhow, but members of security agencies suppose give public assurance and confidence. E come talk say no be say them dey innocent, and say dem no dey ask for favour, but all dem dey talk na say make Edo people dey free to go vote who dem wan vote, and dem go accept the result of properly conducted election. But say if citizens dey feel say dem dey intimidated by men in uniform, say e no good. Obaseki come also beg General Musa to appeal to the Inspector General of Police sake of say dem sabi wetin EndSARS protest cause Edo people, especially to rebuild the burnt police stations, and also say dem don receive many tori about talks and orders wey enter Edo, and say when dem give the informate to relevant authorities, dem no dey act at all. A constant talk say,
yeah, sir, you will not know how reassuring this visit is. But first, let me thank, and also ask you to help me thank your men on ground in Edo. The GOC has been, since he resumed, has been amazing in terms of supporting the security of our state. I'm sure he would have briefed you that a few weeks ago we went to commission one and forward operating base in a hall, which has stabilized the security on the Benin-Auchi axis. The former chief of staff gave us permission to build another one in Sobe, which is reduced drastically the incidence of banditry in the Western Axis. And we're writing to you through the GOC for approval to support with a third base towards the northern border between Edo and Kogi State, where we're still having incidents. The Chief of Air Staff has also been kind enough to allow us to cooperate and collaborate with them to set up an FOB for the Air Force towards Okada access. So that tells you the level of cooperation we've been receiving from your men and how much the presence of the military has assisted us in stabilizing the security in Edo State. Thank God you served here and you know the strategic and logistic importance of Edo State. I'm very glad that you are here today, and I'm sure you would have gotten a lot of briefings. I'm glad because some of the actors in the political scene do not seem to understand the national security implication of this Edo election. And the way some people have conducted themselves, I'm sorry to say, it's quite unbecoming of people who have sworn to oath of offices in this country. Politicians will behave the way they like, but members of the security agencies should give the public assurances and confidence. Like we're not asking for any favors. We're saying let Edo citizens be free to go to the polls and express themselves the way they wish, and will accept the outcomes of any properly conducted polls. But when you have a situation where citizens are being intimidated by people in uniform. Last night, some people woke me up at 3 a.m. There were policemen at Edo Central trying to still arrest people last night. I got a call this morning again about the Sienna boss at the area office with the mandate to come and pick up. I mean, elections that are 2 days away. We have, people who have been arrested, taken away from Edo. In law, it's only fair. If you claim that somebody has committed an offense in a place, you arrest that person and try that person in a location where they committed the offense. People who were carried out of this state, they were detained in Abuja on the instructions of the Inspector General of Police for more than 2 weeks. And when we confronted the IG in Benin during the peace session, which we refused to sign, he claimed that, he had arrested people for murder. When they finally was forced to charge them to court, the charge read possession of firearms. And as I speak, you have people, you have citizens in Suleja, in Niger State, being detained because they don't want them to participate in elections on Saturday. When you create situations like this, it's just, what it results to is just lack of trust, lack of confidence. When the opposition candidate is campaigning with a police helicopter in the state, I don't think it's a fair or level playing field. It's not right. And sir, it's possible, sir, to appeal to the IG, because there's a trend now. I don't know if you saw a video where they had tried to arrest some people 2 days ago, and citizens moved against the police. When that begins to happen, it has wider implications. We know what NSAS cost us here in Edo, and how much it cost us to replace all the police stations that were burnt in the city. So I thank you so much for coming to reassure us as citizens. We the concern we receive a lot of intelligence, but when we pass them on to the authorities we're supposed to, we don't get the feedback. We have intelligence of arms movement into the states. We have intelligence of thugs being housed in certain hotels. And on and on. We're not saying we are innocent. We're saying in a political season like this, it's one of contestation. But we don't want it to lead to loss of lives, because it is totally unnecessary. And where citizens don't feel that everybody is not being treated fairly by the instruments of state, then you see the kind of tension and violence that could occur in an election. You come in here today I believe there cannot be any better assurance that you understand the national security implication of this election, and the military authorities are going to do all within their powers to make sure that there is peace and will reduce the tension. On our part in Edo, it's in our interest as a government to make sure that we have peaceful elections. You say you served in Edo, you would have noticed that the level of economic growth that has occurred in this state in the last 6 to 8 years has been purely due to one single factor: perception of peace. And that we do not want to disrupt. Even the candidates who are vying to come into office, they require a peaceful environment, a safe environment, and more important, a perception of peace, so that they can govern properly. So I want to assure you that as a government, the government of Edo State will do everything possible. We give you every support required so that we can have peace. My last 2 elections, I didn't record any loss of life, and I would not like any citizen of Edo to be killed or to die as a result of these elections.
Make una no forget say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We no dey take blame. From Government House, Benin City, Ekata Ojesole, TMC TV News.